Hey, if you're a subscription box owner and you're wondering, do you have the right product? This video is going to help you. In this video, I'm going to show you a framework that you can use to assess product market fit for your subscription box and give you steps on how you can build a product that sells like crazy in your market. My name is Steve. I'm the founder of Harbor Marketing Agency, and my team and I have helped scale multiple subscription box brands to 7 figures in revenue using online ads and funnels. And in this channel, I show you how. So being that this is a video talking about product market fit, what I'm gonna do is break this down into the product side of things and the market side of things. I'm gonna start with the product. So when you're thinking about your subscription box product, there are really 4 things that you need to pay attention to. The first is, does this make sense to subscribe to? This is absolutely critical. We've had people that have come to us before and they try to basically force a product that should just be a regular e-com product or a regular one-time purchase product into a subscription model because they find that subscription recurring revenue model attractive. And we will tell them, hey, this doesn't make sense, just do a regular e-com model. And the reason that we do that is because when you try to take a product that doesn't make sense to subscribe to, that people wouldn't naturally want on a monthly or quarterly basis, and you try to force it into a subscription model, it actually adds an additional barrier for the customer to purchasing. So if you think about it from a customer standpoint, let's say they're really interested in your product and they go to purchase it, but then they see it's a subscription. Now they're thinking, okay, yeah, this is a subscription, is this something that I'm gonna subscribe to and I'm gonna forget about it and it's gonna keep charging me every month and I don't really want it anymore. And so it adds an additional obstacle to overcome to get the sale. And so I would encourage you to only get into the subscription box space or only add products in your subscription box that people are naturally going to want on a recurring basis. This is so important. It is literally make or break for your subscription box. So think about this very hard. And if it doesn't make sense to put into a subscription model, you can just go the regular one-off product e-commerce route, and that is totally fine. You will do better that way than trying to take a product that doesn't make sense in a subscription model and forcing it into that business model. So the second thing that you're gonna wanna look at from a product standpoint for your subscription box is, does it have a strong, unique value proposition? And so that really is just a fancy way of saying, what is different about your product? Why is it special? Remember, the subscription box model is attractive because a lot of people think that they can just take a bunch of random products and batch them into a subscription box and sell it. And oftentimes that does work, but the ones that really are successful, the ones that really scale up quickly, are the ones that actually have inherent value that no other competitor can truly replicate or can easily replicate in the box itself. So ask yourself, if you were your customer, why would you buy your box over a competitor's? Why is your product better? Or, what is special about your product? It's really important to nail this down. And I would recommend getting some solid customer feedback on this and just getting a feel for why people are buying your box. And how can you do more of the things that people love about your box and less of the things that people don't like, and continually improve your product value proposition over time. So the next thing that you're gonna wanna do here is look at your price point. So as you're going into a market with your subscription box, what you'll want to do is look at the competitive landscape in your market and gain an understanding of what your competitors are charging for their subscription box. Then you're going to want to assess your unique value proposition and how you are differentiated from the competition and charge accordingly. You'll have to be careful to make sure that the customer's perceived value of your subscription box exceeds the price that they are paying for it. So you never want your price point to exceed the perceived value of your subscription box, because then people just aren't going to buy your box. And so it's kind of a balance that you have to strike between the perceived value exceeding the price, but also not pricing yourself so low that you're cutting into your profit margins. So look at the competitive landscape, gain an understanding of what your competitors are charging, maybe do some market research and gain an understanding of what customers say they would be willing to pay for what you are offering, and test out a couple different price points to find out what works for you. So that brings me to my last point on the product side of things, which is profitability. Now, unfortunately, there's not a magic number that I can tell you and say, your profit margins should be this much or X amount or X% for your subscription box. But what I can do is tell you about a very helpful ratio that a lot of people like to keep in mind in the subscription box industry as they're assessing profitability and pricing. And so that ratio is a 3-to-1 lifetime value to customer acquisition cost ratio. And so as you're thinking about your profit margins, what you need to think about is the amount of profit that you make over the lifetime of your relationship with a customer should exceed your customer acquisition costs, so the amount that you pay to acquire a customer, by about 3x. So if you're spending, let's say you spend $50 on Facebook ads and you get one customer, that means you have a $50 customer acquisition cost. Now, following that 3-to-1 LTV to CAC ratio, that customer should make you about $150 in profit after they, renew over a period of several months. So again, there's not really a set number that I can tell you, your profit margins should be 30 or 40 or 50 or 60%, but you should take into consideration the fact that you should be shooting for a 3-to-1 LTV to CAC ratio in order to sustain a healthy subscription box model. Okay, so for the next part of this video, I want to go into the market side of things. So how do you choose the right market for your subscription box? Or how do you assess the market that you're currently in to know if it's a good one? So before I dive in here, I do want to just make a disclaimer that a lot of the points that I'm about to make here are not my own. I got these from Alex Hormozi. He's a great online marketer. He has a great YouTube channel. You can go check him out by just YouTubing Alex Hormozi. And the reason that I decided to include them in this video is because when I heard him bring these points up and then I applied them to some of our best performing clients, I realized that he was so spot on with a lot of these points. And so I'll dive in and you can see for yourself. So the first point here is your market growing? Are you catching a tailwind? When I was at Hunt a Killer back in 2017, I think this was a huge reason for our success. We were a murder mystery subscription box company, and the true crime market was booming back in 2017. It was on the rise, it was growing really quickly, and so we were able to ride that wave. And that's one of the reasons that we were able to get to about 30,000 subscribers plus in about a year and a half. And so, as you're thinking about your market, recognize that it's going to be very difficult to grow a business in a declining market. It's going to be a lot easier to grow a business in a growing market. So keep that in mind, because that definitely does play a huge role in your success here. So the next thing to think about here is, are the people in your audience easy to target? Is your audience large enough, and can you find them on Facebook or YouTube or Google or even offline channels like TV or radio? Can you get eyeballs in front of your product? So, for example, if you are trying to create a subscription box only for people that have successfully climbed Mount Everest, that's great. And you might have, a unique value proposition, and you might have a great price point, and you might be profitable, but you're never going to be able to build a real business off of a market that only consists of 14 people. So is your market large enough, and are they easy to find? This is really going to factor into your success here. If you can't get your product in front of people, then nobody is going to buy your product. So really think about that and assess market size and your ability to get in front of your audience. So the next thing that you're going to want to think about here is your market passionate about whatever it is that you are selling? So to give you an example here, one of our clients that does really well is Squawk Box. Squawk Box is a bird owner subscription box. So they send treats and toys and gifts for birds. Now, people that have pet birds are typically very passionate about having a pet bird. They identify as bird owners, and whenever they see a product related to pet birds, they usually jump on it because it's just something that they're extremely excited and passionate about. Another example here, a client of ours that does really well is the Burn Box, which is a firefighter subscription box. They sell gear and tools and equipment to firefighters in a subscription box model. And firefighters are typically very passionate about being firefighters. And so when they see a subscription box related to firefighting, it's an easy sell because they're just so excited about the subject and the topic. So try to think about, is the audience that you're going after really excited and passionate about that topic? Or are they just kind of lukewarm to it? If they're passionate, it's gonna be much easier to sell to them. If they're just lukewarm about it, then it might not be so easy. Finally, the last point here is, does your market have purchasing power? Do these people have money to spend? It is very difficult to sell to broke people. And if you are creating a subscription box around people that just don't have money, then it's going to be very difficult to sell to them, especially for a product like a subscription box that is typically a luxury product. It's not going to be easy, and you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. The best example that I've heard of this is, if you are creating a product that helps people to build their resumes, it's going to be very difficult to sell to that market because people that are looking to build their resumes typically don't have jobs. So, that's a market that doesn't have purchasing power. And so think about the market that you're going after. Do they have disposable income? Do they have money to spend on luxury products? If the answer is yes, then you will have a much easier time than trying to sell to people that do not have money. So there you have it, everything you need to know about creating an amazing subscription box product that sells like crazy. If you can check all those boxes, you will have a very well-established product market fit and you will crush it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Coming out with new videos on a weekly basis and sometimes even more frequently. So hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.